Just in case you were wondering, this is another podcast English lesson. And in case you like what I'm going to teach here, I'll give you some tips to help you remember it. In any case, let's get going.
Welcome to another Happy English podcast coming to you from New York City. And here's your English teacher, Michael.
All right, thank you, John, and thanks, everyone. It's Michael here from Happy English, and I help people speak English better. And this is Happy English Podcast, episode 850, in case you need this. Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining me for another episode of the Happy English Podcast. I'm your English teacher, Michael, and I'm really glad you're here with me today. You know, English is full of these little expressions that seem simple, but can really trip you up if you don't fully understand how they work. And today, I want to help you out with a handful of phrases that all use the words in and case. In this lesson, we're going over expressions like in case of, just in case, in any case, in that case, and whatever the case. These are super common in daily English, and they each have their own little twist when it comes to grammar and meaning. So, let's start with in case. This one basically means if something happens. It's like preparing for a possibility. And here's the key. After in case, we use a subject and a verb. That's important. Like I always tell my students, feel free to email me in case you have any questions about this lesson. See that? In case is followed by you have, subject and verb. That's the usual pattern. Another one I often use is, I'll bring an umbrella in case it rains. I'm not saying it's definitely gonna rain, but maybe it will, so I'm preparing for that possibility. Same idea here. I charged my phone last night in case the power goes out today. I don't think it will, but just to be safe, I charged it. Now, that brings us to the next one, which is kind of related. Just in case. Just in case is really the same meaning as in case, but putting just gives it more emphasis. And just in case, well, it's something we say all the time. Like, I brought a jacket just in case it gets chilly tonight. Or, I left early just in case there was traffic. It's that little extra preparation, that better safe than sorry kind of vibe. And you'll hear native speakers say this constantly. Sometimes we can even say it without finishing the sentence. Like, are you bringing your charger? Yeah, just in case. We don't even have to say why. The meaning is totally clear. From the context, of course. Next up is in case of. This one's a little different because it's more formal and commonly used in signs, instructions, or official language. And here's the grammar point. In case of is followed by a noun, not a sentence. No subject and verb here. For example, you might see a sign in a hotel that says, in case of fire, use the stairs. Or, in the subway, in case of emergency, push the red button. Signs and notices like this don't usually say, in case it catches fire, because again, we're not using a full sentence after in case of. Just a noun. In case of fire, in case of emergency, and so on. It sounds a little too formal for casual conversation. I wouldn't say, in case of rain, I'll bring an umbrella. That's grammatically correct, but it sounds like something from a textbook. It's more natural to say, I'll bring an umbrella in case it rains. That's how we'd usually say it. The next one is also pretty common in conversation. In that case, this one's great when you're reacting to something new, when you hear new information and now you're changing your decision or your plan. Like, let's say your friend says, hey, the restaurant is fully booked. And you say, oh, in that case, let's just order takeout. Or, the museum is closed today. In that case, let's go to the park instead. See what's happening? In that case means, because of what you just told me, here's my new plan. It's a supernatural phrase for reacting in conversations. Now, here's a different twist. In any case. This one means anyway, or regardless of what happens. It's a way to show that something will be true no matter what. For example, let's say I'm trying to decide whether to walk or take the train. It might rain later, but it might not. But either way, I'm going. In any case, I'm going to the concert. Whether it rains or not. Whether my friend cancels or not, I'm going. In any case, I'm gonna go to the concert. It's also used to move the conversation along, like, I'm not sure if Jack is coming or not. In any case, we should get the meeting started. We use in any case the way some people use anyhow or anyway. It gives your sentence that nice, let's move on feel. Now, before we wrap up, there's one more phrase I want to teach you, and that's whatever the case. This one's kind of like a cousin to in any case, and we use it when we want to say that something is true or will happen no matter what the situation is. For example, let's say you're not sure if it's going to rain or not. You might say, whatever the case, I'm bringing an umbrella. Maybe it rains, maybe it doesn't matter. You're prepared either way. Or if you're not sure who's coming to the party, but you've already decided you're going to go, you could say, whatever the case, I'm going to go, so see you there. It has the same kind of meaning as either way or no matter what. Like, my friend was going back and forth about what to wear to the opera, suit or no suit. And I told him, dude, whatever the case, just wear something clean. Simple, flexible, and supernatural. Whatever the case is just one more way to show that you've made up your mind regardless of the situation. All right, let's do a quick recap before we wrap up. In case means if something happens. I brought a charger in case my phone dies. Just in case has the same meaning but more emphasis. I brought snacks just in case we get hungry. In case of, followed by a noun, is formal, often in signs. In case of fire, use the stairs. In any case means anyway, regardless. In any case, I'm going. In that case is for reacting to new info. Oh, the restaurant is closed? In that case, we'll go somewhere else. Whatever the case means regardless of the situation. I don't know who's coming to the party, but whatever the case, I'm gonna go there. These are small phrases, but they show up all the time in natural English. And now you'll know exactly how to use them in case someone asks. See what I did there? Thanks as always for listening. And keep in mind, the best way to remember English like this and any other word or phrase in English is to take that word or phrase, write it in a sentence that's true for you or true in your world, and then memorize your sentences. And remember to check out my AI tutor. It's a great way to practice your English, get answers, and more 24/7, and it's all free. There's a link in the description where you are listening to this podcast right now. Check it out. And if you like it, leave me a thumbs up there. And if you really want to get more practice using your English, you should join my Podcast Learners Study Group. There, you can make new international friends. Join us for live group lessons every week where we practice these podcast lessons together. Plus, you get access to the PDF transcript and audio download for every Happy English podcast in the past and in the future. And on top of that, each episode has exercises where you can practice this English point with speaking and writing checked by me. To learn more, well, just visit myhappyenglish.com and choose podcast lesson 850. Remember, learning another language is not easy, but it's not impossible. And I'm here to help you on your journey.
This podcast was brought to you by Happy English. Please visit myhappyenglish.com. Show your support for Happy English by leaving us a review. Get English, get happy, Happy English.